Welcome to KXAN News Today. Governor Greg Abbott back at the border today. He's expected to unveil a new border security strategy in Eagle Pass. Comes after a back and forth, multiple lawsuits against the Biden administration over those border buoys in the Rio Grande River.
The Austin ISD School Board today will discuss safety changes, and this is coming after 7 schools in Austin failed to meet all standards for intruder detection. The Texas Education Agency conducted inspections last month and earlier this month. Corrective actions must be completed within 60 days of being notified of failure.
Today, you can meet the new Austin Police Downtown Commander, Mark Clements. He's speaking at a safety forum on crime trends and APD staffing. It is happening this morning from 8:30 to 9:30 on Zoom, and you can find a link to that if you want to participate on KXAN.com. Also this morning, a bipartisan agreement to avoid a government shutdown now in jeopardy. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Miller.
And I'm Erica Brennis. Lawmakers have until midnight on Friday to approve a spending bill. The proposal is now in question after President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Vance put out a statement slamming some of the short-term spending bill's add-ons. Democrats say not passing it will hurt Americans. Republicans say that the bill needs more scrutiny.
The fact of the matter is we should not pass it. The Speaker shouldn't put it on the floor. One of the rules we fought for under Speaker McCarthy 2 years ago was enforcing the 72-hour rule. You have time to read the bill. If we do that, if we fully expose what's in this bill over 72 hours, it will not pass.
The sooner Congress acts, the better. As always, bipartisan cooperation must lead the way. We can't have last-minute delays or grandstanding, or else the American people won't get the funding they deserve, or else we could risk a shutdown.
The bill would fund the government through March 14th. It includes $100 billion in disaster relief for hurricanes Helene and Milton. Also, a cost of living adjustment for lawmakers, along with money to rebuild Baltimore's collapsed Key Bridge. It includes $10 billion to help farmers. Some Republicans echoing the president-elect's concerns that too much is crammed into that bill. Lawmakers did make some progress in other areas. The Senate passing the National Defense Authorization Act. That $895 billion bill sets the budget for the Defense Department. And this includes a ban on coverage of gender-affirming care for transgender children of military service members. That can be things like hormone therapy. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson praising that ban, saying the bill is meant to prioritize, quote, military lethality, not radical woke ideology.
First warning weather with meteorologist Tommy House.
All right, happy Thursday morning, everyone. It's a different day today weather-wise compared to yesterday. Big drop in temps as we had a cold front move through yesterday morning. Clear skies, winds are out of the northwest, humidity at 68%. Start off toward the hill country. At a freeze right now in Llano, Cherokee 33, San Saba County also at a freeze at 32. Lampasas 34, Marble Falls 33 this morning, much warmer in the Austin metro itself. We're talking mid-40s, 45 at the airport, 42 in Buda, 42 in Kyle, east of I-35, some 40s sprinkled in with upper 30s up north toward Cameron, Thorndale at 41. Really not a lot to talk about. High pressure is going to be the name of the game today. Here's your bus stop forecast, dropping off the kids at school, mid-40s and sunshine, and then when you pick them back up, we'll be dealing with more sunny skies. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s. I'm tracking your Texas game day forecast and maybe rain on Christmas. We'll talk about it in just a bit.
All right, thank you so much, Tommy. 1 person is dead and 4 others are hurt after a train derailment in Pecos near Odessa. The train hit the Chamber of Commerce building. You can see the aftermath in this drone video. Video on the ground then shows the derailed train cars. 3 of the cars had potentially hazardous materials inside, but Pecos officials say there are no reports of any leaks. No word yet on what exactly caused that train to derail.
There's some video showing the exact moment that a driver T-boned a Cat Metro van in Austin, injuring multiple people. Take a look here. Wow. KXAN viewer sharing this video with us. You see a white car driving through the intersection of the William Cannon and South 1st Street area, hitting that van. The van then rolling onto its side and then hitting that car and landing on the hood there. Happened around 10:30 yesterday morning.
We had a total of 3 patients, 3 were transported. One was able to walk out of the car on their own power, and that was it. As far as no major injuries reported.
The city says those roads that intersect here both have a lot of injuries and have been selected for improvements. They were already flagged by the city for having some of the highest levels of severe or deadly crashes. There's a closer look at a plan to make Austin homes more affordable. Yesterday, we heard some concerns from community groups about the lack of data on the city's home initiative.
The city hopes a series of land development code changes will increase the housing supply. KXAN's Grace Reeder got reaction to what it says about how well this initiative is working.
We told you Tuesday night
we should be getting some numbers on
that some groups like Go Austin, Vamos Austin wanted the city to put out better data about its home initiative. That's a series of land development code changes made starting in December of last year, aimed at increasing Austin's housing supply. And applications for home are now slowly rolling in.
I think it's important for us to look geographically at where they have fallen.
Because the city doesn't have that data out right now, we put it together for you. We requested the permit number for every single home application and plugged it into the city's data portal to get things like addresses and details for the project. We put it all together for you over at KXAN.com and then shared it with builders like Scott Turner of Riverside Homes, who has previously submitted a home application.
So I would just say comparing that data that you've put together with the single family data, right, really is going to tell you how things are shifting. Are we building more in West Austin where previously those would have been single family homes? I'm optimistic that so far so good, right? It was great to see the map. And I think we're going to see those ratios play out over time.
As for whether or not these initiatives have made Austin more affordable, some say it's still too soon to tell.
Every national consultant that we had in here in Austin during the LDC process, they were very clear that it takes years for the local market to catch up to new regulations, typically 3 years.
Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
All right, thanks, Grace. The home initiative comes in 2 phases. The first part allows up to 3 units to be built on some single-family lots and allows tiny homes to be considered on one of those units. Phase 2 largely reduced the amount of land needed to build a home. Happy Thursday morning. A live look on Highway 71. Good morning, Bastrop. It looks very quiet, a little breezy out there. Those flags just blowing in the wind. Hope your day is off to a good start. Tommy House is in for Kristen this morning. He'll be up in a few minutes with your forecast. The Department of Justice is suing CVS Pharmacy. It claims the pharmacy chain filed prescriptions for dangerous quantities of opioids and other drugs.
And the DOJ says low staffing levels and a lack of information made pharmacists susceptible to fake prescriptions coming in. Says CVS violated the Federal Controlled Substances Act. CVS is also accused of billing federal health insurance programs for those prescriptions.
In 2022, CVS agreed to pay close to $5 billion over 10 years to settle thousands of similar claims by state, local, and Native American tribal governments. However, it did not admit wrongdoing under the deal. Good morning. The downtown Austin skyline showing off from atop the KXAN studio. Nice, crisp, cool start to your Thursday morning. Hope it's a good day for you so far. There's a new lawsuit over the safety of a SpaceX launch base that's in South Texas. The suit claims that the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality bypassed a permitting process for the facility.
Yeah, environmental groups and Texas indigenous nonprofits have filed this lawsuit. It claims the TCEQ allowed the facility to use a water release system several times. At the time, though, it was still ongoing, still going through the permitting process, I should say. SpaceX itself not listed as a defendant in that lawsuit. We did reach out to the company, though, and have not received a response back.
If you are like me and you're still making your list, you're checking it twice, you're running errands and getting all those last-minute gifts, you're not alone. But many of the hottest toys this year have been around for decades, actually. Pokemon, Legos, slime, which is not allowed in our house, by the way, are high on the Today Show's hottest toy list. So are newer toys like electronic lasso. Gallup News predicts Americans will spend on average a little over $1,000 on holiday gifts this year. That's above the $923 that they estimated people spent last year.
Okay, that lasso looked really cool. I don't know if you
I didn't see it because I was reading, but I was like, I need to see what this is all about. But
What is the weirdest gift y'all ever received for Christmas? Whether you asked for Santa and Santa's elves brought you something, or
Well, we've
They went
had
rogue.
some like KXAN white elephants where there've been like chia pets that have been given out, some weird stuff.
Actually, my aunt told me she's bringing a Willie Nelson chia pet for someone.
Oh, there you go.
On Christmas, I
think,
said,
hey,
don't give it to me. I don't need another mouth to
Yeah.
feed, and that includes plants.
I got you socks before.
used
Honestly?
socks?
Yeah, they were fluffy socks with like the little
I heard
drippies at the bottom.
used.
No, I said I got you
Yeah.
socks before.
Tom is great
Listen, I got
about
this
like
IFB in my ear.
doing like gifts for all the peeps on the morning show. But I love a good pair of socks, like fluffy, cozy
Yes,
socks.
the holiday ones.
Can't go wrong.
Those are great. The white elephant, such a surprise too.
Yes.
And someone steals your gift and you're just like so petty about it for the rest. Yeah, I'm still holding on to grudges 5 years ago when people stole
Never
my
let
stuff.
it go.
I
You
just-
never let it go.
You know what? It's fine. I could talk about it all day. It is much cooler today. Speaking of the holidays, 23 degrees cooler. In fact, in Austin, Gillespie County, almost 30 degrees colder out the door than where we were yesterday. Why is that? Well, cold front moved through around 9 o'clock yesterday morning. Today, we're going to be seasoned about 44 at 9 a.m., by 11, 53, by 1 p.m., 60. And sunshine, that's going to be the name of the game for the near future. Find your city here east of I-35, mid to upper 60s, 68 for a high in Bastrop, 68 in Fayette County, 68 in San Marcos, 67 in Austin, maybe 70 out toward Mason County. Winds will be light and variable throughout the day. Big picture, here's what's going on. Clockwise flow around a high pressure right over the Lone Star State. That's going to shield us from any sort of showers or clouds for the near future. Your weekend forecast, 62 on Saturday, a little bit cooler compared to your Sunday. Then by Sunday, clouds build back in. High temperature of 64. Hey, big things are happening on Saturday. We're hosting Clemson for a football playoff game. 63 for kickoff, pleasant. Halftime, 60 degrees as the sun sets, getting a little bit cooler. Bring a light jacket for the second half of the game and once the game ends. We'll be dry for the next 4 days, but I'm tracking Monday into Tuesday, day before Christmas and the start of Hanukkah. Could be seeing our next round of showers and even some thunderstorms. Here's how it looks big picture. Clouds and radar Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Notice not a lot to talk about. This is kickoff. Maybe some clouds down toward the valley. Sunday, Monday, that's when we could be seeing a little bit of rain creep its way on by through the valley on the coastline. This is Monday at 3:30. How about Tuesday? This one model's putting some pretty heavy rain the day before Christmas right over Austin, which could impact a little bit of travel there. And then by Christmas Day itself and the start of Hanukkah, things are clearing up pretty substantially. I'm going to show you 2 different models, and this goes out 7 days. These numbers will change. I'm just showing you this to put a picture of what we could be dealing with. Over an inch. This is the GFS. This is the European model at 430. GFS 1.15, 1 inch in Bastrop. Anywhere between a half an inch to an inch could be on the table right now. We have to continue to observe these trends and model runs, but overall, I'm thinking we'll be getting a little bit of rain the day before Christmas itself. 67 today, sunny skies and cooler. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tonight, back down to the low 40s. 30s for the hill country, clear skies. Winds will be out of the north at 5 to 10 as well. Your first warning weather, 7-day forecast. Sunshine for a while. Sunday, 64. Monday, 72. Tuesday, 74. Showers build back in on Wednesday, back up into the 70s. 60s to 70s. That's the trend.
Thank you, Tommy. A former Department of Public Safety trooper is pleading no contest in a use of force case. As a result, though, he is surrendering his law enforcement license. These charges for Zachary Maney stem from this Northeast Austin traffic stop. This was 2022. The Travis County District Attorney's Office says he unlawfully deployed his taser. DPS suspending him after that incident. The woman that Maney pulled over spoke in court on Wednesday.
When this first happened, there were so many lawyers that I spoke with that told me, no one's gonna care, you're not dead, you didn't get shot. This story doesn't matter. For 2 years, I thought this story didn't matter. It's not the justice that I imagined, but it's still a step.
Maney received deferred adjudication probation. This is different from regular probation because if he completes it successfully, the courts can seal his records related to this case. We did reach out to Maney's attorney and have not yet heard back. Meantime, the state is asking hundreds of school districts to return Medicaid funding totaling more than $16 million.
It comes after a 2017 federal audit of the state's Medicaid reimbursement program. It found numerous billing errors. Investigative reporter Kelly Wiley explains why districts and Texas Health and Human Services are at odds over that request.
The federal audit from 2017 takes a microscope to Texas's Medicaid reimbursement program, which covers medical costs, including mental health care and physical therapy for special education students who are Medicaid eligible. The audit specifically reviewed expenditures claimed on behalf of Austin and Dallas ISD in 2011. It found 238 instances where service costs were coded incorrectly. Inspectors also found that these errors occurred because the state agency did not always follow its policies and procedures. For years, HHSC's appeals postponed the repayment, but earlier this month, the agency directed the more than 500 school districts that participated in the program in 2011 to pay the money back. The repayments outlined by HHSC range from under $100 to over $800,000. Austin ISD is set to make one of the highest at $784,000. Pete Pape is the chief financial officer for Leander ISD. His district is set to repay nearly $100,000 to HHSC. Pape says it's the latest in a string of reductions to the program.
I mean, it goes against everything the federal government's been saying. It goes against everything that the federal government's been trying to expand the program. And then we have a state agency that's reducing the program or stifling it. You're getting hit here, you're getting hit there, and then eventually that accumulates, and then it really starts to affect your budget. Then it affects how the services you can provide to your students. And for special needs students, these are services that are legally required.
In a statement to KXAN, HHSC said since 2017, the agencies worked diligently with federal oversight partners to maintain SHAR's funding and overturn the decision to deny the funding. It was a federal decision to not maintain SHAR's funding, not a state decision. We also asked the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services if it required the money be recouped from school districts. A spokesperson for the federal agency said, "We refer you to the state's Medicaid agency for questions about their actions and steps the state has taken to comply with audit findings."
That was Kelly Wiley reporting. We did ask HHSC why the state does not take on the full repayment to the federal government and why it's being split among participating districts. In response, the agency told us that it is required by law to recoup the amount overpaid to districts. We asked for clarity on which law or which mandate requires it, but we have yet to hear back. You can go to KXAN.com and look at our map outlining how much each school district is expected to repay to HHSC.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Good morning, all. Happy Thursday. When Texas football lost in the SEC championship game, not only did they, of course, lose the chance to win the conference in their first year in the SEC, but they made their path to a potential national championship game even longer. Texas is, of course, focused on Clemson right now. That's their first-round opponent this Saturday in the inaugural 12-team college football playoff. But because Georgia beat Texas in Atlanta earlier this month, Texas does not get a bye week. Georgia does. So it's 4 games Texas has to get ready for to possibly get their guys ready for what they hope is a 17-game season.
This has been a long season, and if we want to go do what I think we're capable of doing, and that's be playing January 20th, trying to compete for a national championship, that'll be our 17th game. And that our first game was July 31st. And so this has been a long journey, and one that I think we've done a nice job of navigating, of where I don't feel like our players are burnt out. I do feel like we've got a ton of energy.
And Texas Game Day, the official pregame show of Texas football. Game at 3 this week. That's Longhorns and Tigers. So pregame show at 2 over on KBVO. Jonathan Thomas and crew will get you ready for that one in the first round of the college football playoff. Also Saturday, football games of interest to some Central Texans. Of the high school football variety, Westlake, what's new there in the state championship, and Vandegrift. They're back, maybe unexpected to some, but not this Vipers team. They were there 2 years ago, making a statement, making it to Arlington. Last year, they had hopes of being there again, but lost in the first round maybe a little bit upset by an upstart Lake Travis team in round one. That loss helped Vandegrift fuel them this year and try to get back to win it all.
Anytime you can get this far in the playoffs, I mean, you know, especially after last year, it was such a rough offseason, and you know, these guys took that to heart.
You know, we like to say you can keep doubting. We love when people doubt us because it makes us go out and go prove others wrong.
And they've done that all season long. But what a Saturday for football fans in this area with, of course, Texas hosting Clemson, Vandegrift in the state championship, and Westlake playing that day as well. More from Westlake later today on KXAN. That's it for us. We'll send it back over to you.
All right, looking forward to it, Noah. Thanks. If you are listening on the KXAN Today podcast, we appreciate you. Thanks so much for joining us. Coming up, whether it's ice, snow, or frigid temperatures, the city of Austin says it's getting ready for winter. We hope you can join us on air for that story and more. You can always find our stories on KXAN.com.